We're gonna go on the news. That's happening today, live in studio.
Gotta stand up straight. Gonna rise like a champion.
Hi. Guess what we're doing today? We're gonna be on the news. And we're gonna talk about lean-in. So I was just telling Tony that I feel like I, first of all, had coffee early, which is good because the belly and the nerves. And I feel like I should eat something. So it's early still. I'm gonna eat a little, just an egg and a toast, something to get on my belly because am I in the fray? I literally have no appetite right now. But I'm excited. I'm looking forward to it. I've gotten some really nice messages this morning from my mom and my friends and
You've been hiding in the shadows way too long. You always thought that you were weak, but babe, you're wrong. Yeah, you better step into the light.
30 minutes or so, maybe 45 minutes or so, gonna go live in studio to talk about my book, Lean In. It's about my dad's journey. We just got here, and the biggest thing I was telling Tony a while ago is like, you know, as much as I want to vlog, there's a part of me that just doesn't want to vlog because I just want to like take it in. And there's something about whenever I'm about to do something like this, I get really like calm, I guess. Would you say it's calm? Yeah. Like a calmness. I can't really explain it, but it's like there are nerves there, but it's more calm. And I think because it's still about like, I don't know, like 40 minutes before we actually need to be here. We got here early, and a lot of the anxiety things, which would be like being in traffic, we left out really early. So we reduced the opportunity for a lot of anxiety and crazy stuff to happen by just being prepared, which I think is helpful. When it comes to flushing, I did wear a high neck shirt, but that's really not even my concern. I think because I just know that happens, period. I'm not too concerned about if that's going to happen or what people, because I already just am kind of covered up anyway. But it's more about just being able to know what to say and say the right things. But I'm reminded of this woman who told me one time that I was talking about wanting to have a product so I could sell things, so that I could be my own boss and employ these people. And this woman walked up to me one day and she just said, you know, it's not about you having a product. You don't have to have a product because the gift is in your mouth, meaning the words that I speak. And so I'm reminded of that whenever I feel nervous about, am I going to know what to say? Am I going to say the right things? It's my personal journey and my personal story. How can I not say the right thing? It's my story. There is no wrong answer. But also just reminded of that, to me, it's a promise of the gift is in your mouth, meaning I will know what to say. I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be. I'll know what to say, and whatever happens, happens. There's no expectation beyond that. I'm just grateful for the opportunity. I think it's neat to be able to just have the opportunity and to know that my dad, my quiet, to himself, very behind the scenes dad, is getting an opportunity to have his story shared beyond the time that he's here. It's 3 years later almost at this point, and still talking about him, and get to talk about him on a public viewing source, which is the local news. So not really feeling much of anything crazy right now, just excited and kind of feeling like nothing. I don't know if I'm disassociating a little bit. whatever gets you through it, I guess.
Yeah, you better step into the light. Just give it a try. Think that it's time you let that spark out. You've been hiding in the shadows way too long. And who cares if you might mess it up? You're stronger than the others think. And who cares if you might mess it up? Go ahead and shine, darling. Go ahead and shine, my dear. 'Cause who cares if you might mess it up? Just shine. You shouldn't doubt yourself, 'cause you're a work of art. You should know that you are perfect with those flaws. Yeah, you and shine, darling, go ahead and shine, my dear. 'Cause who cares if you might mess it up? Just shine, shine, darling, go ahead and shine, my dear. 'Cause who cares if you might mess it up? Just shine.
Just taking a moment in the silence for all that today represented. I don't even know what I want to say. I'm just grateful. I am
Mine,
what, babe?
I want some jet.
Get some.
Okay.
So it was on the news today to have this opportunity to talk about Lean In, and let me see if I'm fuzzy to you guys. I'm sorry. And it was literally 4 minutes on air, live in studio, and just feel so alive. You just feel so like these moments. My dad, how behind the scenes he was with so many things, and I'm surrounded by these cameras and I can see the prompters and like the actual story running as I'm talking. We're talking live, and I see myself on the TV and these overlays of video and pictures of my dad, and just trying to listen to the anchor, ask the questions, and also processing my responses to the questions, and seeing my dad 2 years after the fact, almost 3 years after the fact, on the local news. That was amazing. 4 minutes. 4 minutes. And I feel like so much ground was covered in that 4 minutes. A lot for me, the process of getting, so people are like, are you nervous? Are you so nervous? Like, yeah. More so before I got there. Waiting in the car, all of those things make me nervous. Getting there and actually being in studio and seeing it, and the anchor was fantastic. His name is Neil. He was fantastic. He made me feel comfortable right away, and just realized like it wasn't as scary as I anticipated. And getting there with the lights and the cameras, and you just really feel like God damn, I was made for this. And yet there's a shame in that for me. There's a shame in feeling like I was made to be seen. I was made to be heard. And I don't know where that got distorted along the way. But to feel like you're in your most highest self moment, and the fact that it's all tied to the loss of my dad and the journey that he went on is just so intertwined. Talk about like light and dark colliding. That is it. But just feeling so overwhelmed with gratitude. And there's like a fulfillment in it, you know? It's like I will say, as a person who deals with chronic flushing, I was telling my husband afterwards, like, I literally felt my heart beating in my tongue. Like once we went live and I'm sitting there looking at Neil, the anchor, the news anchor, I was just trying to process what he was saying. I wasn't really so much nervous. It was more of just trying to process what he was saying, and knowing that we had limited time, and I like to be a little long-winded, as you all may know. But trying to start a thought, process that thought, speak it in a complete sentence, and then stop so that he can move on to his next piece. or next question. That was really the biggest challenge that was going on inside of me. I didn't care for 1 second if I was flushing or not. I remember at one point literally feeling my heart beating in my tongue and being like, my heart is beating in my tongue right now. My mouth. I was like so activated. And I remember in that moment thinking, I don't even care if I'm blushing or not, but I don't think I am. And I think maybe on the video you might be able to see a little bit of something, but I just did not care. I did not care. There was no space for it. It was more about the before getting up there that felt more like overwhelming than actually being on there. As soon as they were like, and here we go. And we start. You're just there. You're there. You know? And I just keep taking these pauses today to just sit in it, because I know that a lot went into those 4 minutes, and just processing the opportunity that you get, this opportunity to share with like millions of people. I mean, there's potential to reach millions of people by that one broadcasting. And I just feel really grateful. And I also feel like there's a part of me that's being prepared for something else. And it's these moments that remind me that when I was in 4th grade, I was with a friend. I went to my first concert in Nashville. It was an Alan Jackson concert, and Faith Hill was opening up for Alan Jackson. Faith Hill wasn't even on the map yet. She was just like starting out. And I remember sitting in the crowd and watching Faith Hill take the stage. And I remember just being so captivated by her and thinking, I want that in my life. Like, I want to be on the stage. And then I still feel that to this moment, so real in my body. I sang for many years. And then when I was about 18 or 19, I stopped singing, stopped pursuing a singing career. And then just kind of went on with life and went into corporate world, and always had a knack for writing and wanted to write, and really started to step into the power and the essence of who I am as a writer back in like 2015, 16, 17. Published my first book in 2017, and then took a few more years to write my next book. And it just happened to be off of the journey of watching my dad go from life to death to life, meaning that he was alive but very apathetic in his life, and then he got a diagnosis that was terminal, and then I watched him wake up to his life, and then literally watched him die physically, in physical form, to where he was gone from his body but no longer contained, if that makes sense. And wrote the second book, Lean In, Chasing the Sunset. So anytime I get these opportunities to speak, to share, I just feel like we live in a time where nobody's really listening. So there's a lot of times that, you know, I talk to you all, you're listening, and I'm so grateful for you. You are such a huge part of my healing process. But when you get this opportunity to be asked a question and you get to answer those questions, and there's grace there, and people aren't picking apart every little thing that you're saying or trying to find a way to be offended by you. It's like, you don't have to agree with everything I'm saying to resonate with something that I'm saying. And that's why I say a lot of times with my art, I say with my writing, like, this is my gift to you. Take what you need and leave what you don't. If it doesn't resonate, leave it. If you don't agree with it, leave it. It's not to pick apart. And I feel like we do that with so many people, and that's actually given me a big fear of being public, is to know that somebody may misunderstand something about something I said, or not know the full context, or take something out of context and could just completely destroy me because of that. And as much as I don't care, I care, but I won't let myself care for long. And that was a fear going into talking about this thing on live TV, is that grief is personal and everybody goes through their own process, their own way. And who am I to tell you how to process the death of a child? Or it was my personal journey with grief. Everybody's journey is personal. There is no right or wrong way to do it. It's just personal, and you just got to get it out of your body. And that's what I did with this story about my dad. It was me processing the grief. In my situation, I got to watch somebody get the diagnosis and then watch them through the next 11 months, live their life, watch them die, and everything in between. There was a lot of beauty in that for me. So anyway, I wanted to share, that's a little bit of a rampage there, but I wanted to share that I know for a lot of people who deal with chronic blushing erythrophobia is that the biggest thing for you is that you cannot be seen. You don't want all eyes on you. And I completely feel you. I know what that feels like. But I also just want to share with you that I was on live TV today. And there's no difference between me and you. There's absolutely no difference between us. It is what we're believing about ourselves. I remember sitting in the car before we went through those doors to WKRN, and I looked at my husband and I said, regardless of the fear that I feel, regardless of the discomfort that I feel, it was really more discomfort than fear, anxiety, all of those things, what am I gonna do? Am I gonna tell them, hey, never mind, I'm not doing it, and drive home? Like, we're not doing that. Like, the option is walk through the doors, go into the studio, and just lean in. Like, that is the whole thing that we're gonna do here. We're just gonna lean in. Like, this is literally a put your money where your mouth is moment. And that's what I did. And there was, when I say the freedom is in the mystery and it's on the other side of what you fear most, on the other side of that interview, on the other side of that live TV broadcasting, I just came alive afterwards. Like, I just automatically felt like I was alive once the camera started rolling, but it was something about when it was done, and you've told your nervous system, your nervous system has experienced the fact that you have survived this challenging and scary thing, and you reinforce the confidence in yourself that you can do it. You can trust yourself to do what needs to be done. You can show up in the world. You can show up in the world. I am the same girl that came on here 3 years ago talking to you about, like, this is debilitating to me. I don't know how I'm going to carry on with this. I just want to get over it. I'm so just distracted by this and insecure. I am this same physical being, and yet I've changed so much. And I'm talking to you today. The reason why I wanted to turn my camera on was because I feel so much right now, and I just wanted to talk to the Blushing Phoenix community, every single one of you who listen in, the ones of you who don't comment or like or subscribe, those of you too, like, that's fine. It's not even about all that. It's more of like the hidden Blushing Phoenixes, the hidden yous, the ones of you who don't let yourself be known. I see you anyway. I know you're there. I see you in my analytics. I know you're there. And I see you. And there is a whole world that's out there for you. And there's no reason why you have to play small and hold yourself back because of this fear in here. Because you're not satisfied even when you don't move forward. Hiding doesn't make you happy, it just makes you feel safe. And yet it puts a hole in your soul because you're withholding yourself from the world. We are in it together. You are not alone. And I'm just hoping that by telling my story, by showing you all that I went on the news today, that you can do whatever it is you want to do. You just got to believe in you. You got to rise up. You got to be willing to lean into that discomfort. And that takes time. I'm not telling you got to do it today. I'm just telling you to trust yourself through the process. Don't hide yourself. That you're important, that you matter, that you have words to say and creativity to share with the world. You are smart, you've got wisdom in you. There's no one else like you in this world. You matter so much. I know what that feels like. I know what it feels like to feel like nobody cares, and to feel unseen, and to feel so different than everybody else, and insecure and overwhelmed, and your nervous system is tired. I know what that feels like. It's an awful feeling, but I believe we all have a voice in us. We are connected to a higher power, whatever that means for you. And it is guiding and leading, and it's the distortion around us of these lies that we've been told or that we've
perceived that becomes our reality. And we can change that reality. You can change your reality. You can step out into all that you are. The fullness of who you are is so much more than the redness. See? It's making me red telling you you're more than redness. So anyway, I just want to thank you so much for coming along on my journey. Thank you for filling me with so much hope and encouraging me. I am where I am today because of you. There's so much that you have contributed to my healing. And besides, like, my incredible husband, my family, my children, my amazing friend Andrea, it just, but you are the ones that helped me find my voice again, to really find my voice again and get on camera. And so getting on live TV today, after talking to you for 3 years, it wasn't as hard. It wasn't as hard. So thank you for being here. Thank you for encouraging me and giving me that validation feedback loop when I really, really needed it. Hopefully snot is not like running down my face. I'm more concerned about my snot right now than the redness. So anyway, look at us. Look at us. Look at what we're doing here. We're so much more than redness. We got so much more to give and do and be. And just by existing in this world, by being fully who we are in all the pieces of us that we bring to the table, is who makes us up. We're not leaving it behind. If it goes away, it goes away, but we are moving forward. We are leaning in, and we are making radical changes just by showing up as who we are. The acceptance of ourselves lets other people know that they can accept themselves too, and that you don't have to be more than what you already are. It's enough. Till next time, my friends, I will catch you in my next video. Oh, and if you do want to watch the broadcasting, the link is in the description box below. And if you're interested in checking out my new book, Lean In, that's in the description box below. Also, my husband made this incredible mindfulness affirmations coloring book, and that'll be in the links below as well. Or you could just check out aprilpointer.com and all my resources are there. See you guys next time.
Rise up, rise up. When you've had enough, when the crowd gets rough, gotta stand up straight, gonna rise like a champion. When your cloud